What's up, everybody? The next step in our stage 13 language discussion is really a continuation of the previous video and exercise on infinitives, is the forms of the verbs Volo, Nolo, and Possum. And as you're going to see, especially for these verbs, Volo, Nolo, and Possum kind of go hand in hand with infinitives in Latin and in English. So it says the forms of Volo, Nolo, and Possum are irregular. These are all new vocab words, so it's kind of double duty here, where Volo and all of its forms, my stylus backwards, Volo and all its forms mean to want. Nolo and its forms mean not want. And Possum and its forms mean can or be able. But they're irregular. English has tons of irregular verbs. So you think of verbs like, how does the verb went, how is that the past tense of the verb go? In this case, it's just an example of verbs that are not as clean as most Latin verbs are. Like if you want to use the verb to sing, and you want to say, I sing, you sing, he, she, or it sings, it's really as easy as just changing the ending. Canto, cantas, cantat, cantamus, cantatis, cantant. All right, that's all it is for I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they sing. But these verbs have some irregular forms, and we'll go over each individual verb's irregularities in a second. But take a look at just some of the differences immediately. Volo is the form that means want, but another form that means want is vis. Another form that means want is volt. Same thing over here. Possum is similar to, but not exactly like potest or potest. As I said, we'll go through those forms in just a minute. But the reason why these go hand in hand with the main language topic in the stage is that they go with infinitives almost naturally. In fact, they're accompanied by or completed by an infinitive. Think about it. When you say you want, don't want, or are able to do something, you always put the word to. I want to do something. I don't want to do something. I am able to do something. Point being, even in English, these words are accompanied by an infinitive, and as we saw in the previous video in Latin, you will have an RE on a verb form. Again, everybody knows laborat is the verb to work. RE literally makes it mean to work. So, Felis numerare potest. Numerat is the verb to count. Numerare has an RE, literally means to count. So as you see here, all right, this known volt means does not want. Bregens does not want. There's that to plus a verb, to count. Felis potest is able, numerare, to count. Okay, so you see here how want, don't want, and be able kind of naturally go with infinitives. It's making that connection between the last stuff and this stuff. That's going to show you why we put these things together. So the first one is Volo. This is the forms of the verb to want. You'll notice that most of them begin with V-O-L, like Volo, Volumus, and Volunt. The others generally have V-U-L, which isn't that confusing, but you do also see this irregular one, vis, V-I-S, is kind of out of left field. So notice, too, the things that I have underlined. Usually this is a way for me to review again the endings of Latin verbs. O, S, T, mus, tis, and nt, as the endings mean I, you, he, she, or it, we, you, and they. So things don't change. Mus is still we, O is still I, nt is still they, even on these irregular verb forms. Moving on to Nolo, you're going to actually see that half the forms of Nolo are just the forms of Volo with a known in front of it. Known vis. Vis is you want. Known vis is you don't want. Known volt. Volt is he wants. Known is he does not want. Known voltus. Voltus is you plural want. Known voltus is you plural don't want. But the other forms, the forms that in Volo have V-O-L at the beginning, you'll notice that it's like the Romans took the known and the V-O-L and they smacked them together. Instead of saying known Volo, the Romans said Nolo. Instead of saying known Volumus, they put it together and said Nolumus. Same thing. Instead of known Volunt, they put them together and said Nolunt. Same thing. O, S, est, mus, tis, enti mean I, you, he, she, it, we, you, and they. The endings don't change. And finally, possum means can or be able. Think of the derivative possible, something that's possible. You can do it. You are able to do something positive. Now, most of the forms of possum will have either POS or POT at the beginning. But notice what's underlined here is a little bit different and also a little sneaky way for me to review something from Latin 1. Notice the forms that follow it. I think that most of us remember that sum means I am. Est means is. Sunt means they are. Really all possum is POS or POT plus the words for I am, you are, he, she, it is, we are, you are, they are. Sum est, sumus estis sunt. And even farther than that, there's still st, mus, tis, and enti for telling you who is able to do the action. So again, est is, pot est is able, for example.